Okay, we are back.
Hello,
Hopefully.
everybody. Sorry for that. Give it 10 seconds, I'm sure the internet will act up again. But, hey. For those 10 seconds, we are here.
Glorious 10 seconds. 10 seconds where you get to see me probably die.
That's not good.
Oh wait, no.
Please don't die.
I forgot I have Pixie now.
Never mind.
LOL. Screw you,
Everything
savage.
But, what were we talking about before that happened?
We were talking about the last boss and
okay.
how Mayuki had a boner for your Joker.
Ah, yes. Literally, every single attack he did. I don't think he attacked anyone else that fight other than Joker. I had... Let me see. I was using Yoshizawa, I was using Morgana, and I was using Ryuji for that fight. Every single one... Actually, no. I think I was using Makoto. Yeah, Makoto instead of the cat. Every single one of their, save moves activated that round. Because he was constantly targeting Joker. I would heal him up, and it was instantly back down to almost dead. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Admittedly, one thing with me, I feel like I could outpace his damage. In terms of, I think he only got to attack 3 times before I killed him.
I see. I mean, I was able to take him out pretty quick. It was just that Joker kept getting targeted, so I knew if Joker went down, I'm in trouble. So I had to focus on protecting him.
Yeah. Obviously the bit after that was just a survival thing, which was quite fun. It was nice just having the whole screw doing damage, just try and survive.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely a little different bit.
And then, of course, you had the last bit where it was just a fist fight, and it highlighted the fact that Joker just doesn't know how to fight. I just wanted him, Joker to dodge, or, counter, do something.
I can say one thing about this ending. That I feel like it was a lot more cinematic than the original one. The original one had the ending with, when he gets his ultimate persona and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one was just way more cinematic with it. And I kinda enjoyed that.
The one thing is using Alice to kill them. I mean, Alice is pretty good. The issue I have... issue is a strong word. The thing that I feel this ending missed was just there was lacking that moment where the people of your past were there for you. Which is always something that's very strong theme in the older Persona games. Persona games.
But that kind of happened with...
It happens, yes, but it doesn't happen with that boss fight. And it's just it felt weird that for that one section, the last semester, it kind of didn't matter about your bonds up until that point. For that one section.
Isn't that because you maxed it already?
Hey.
Oh no, I just mean... I'm puzzle, I'm not paying attention.
Oh.
By that I mean there was no scene where it's yes, we're using the power of the bonds we've made all together, whatever. It's just okay, we're just going along, and it's not a bad thing, but I feel like that is one of the key selling points of Persona. It's very heavy bonds, equal power.
But I do feel like the bonds was the thing, though.
It was...
But it was more the bonds of your allies than it was, with the Confidants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Though I do admit I did enjoy Akechi's little... I'm a little busy here.
So speaking of him,
Mr. Goro.
Mr. Goro, can I first just say I couldn't stop giggling to myself at the moment where he appears in the game.
It's somewhere.
At the end, after you've beaten the Yowzabath, he just walks up. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I couldn't stop giggling to myself at the prospect of him just standing out of eye shot, just waiting for the time. It's like, do I go now? No. Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait. It's like just waiting the entire time for him to make his appearance.
Actually, I guess the thing we should also talk about with him, the fact that you got to use, like, Loki this time.
Yeah, it made sense.
But that was actually just really cool, because it felt, like, supernatural, because I just really kind of forgot that you don't get to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to use him in that, like, form.
Yeah.
You get him in, like, the Robin Hood one. I do kind of wish you could have changed between them. Would have been cool. But then, that's kind of Joker's thing.
Well, that's the thing, though. It was also his thing.
That's true, right? Yeah. So I guess it wouldn't have been that weird, would it?
No, but I suppose he had the line of he wasn't trying to pretend anymore.
Focus.
That's true.
I did like how he was portrayed. He was kind of funny.
Fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Although I've heard some people like I still don't understand the buzz over sorry. I still don't understand the hype over Goro that much. I don't understand why so many people have fallen for him to such a degree.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, I like him, but some people make it to be like he is the best part of the game, or he is the greatest character in the game, or whatnot. And you know,
that's a little far.
Fair enough that I can see some people liking him to that degree, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But some people as well, it's a lot more than just a handful of people.
Right, it's like
it's a good majority.
Amount.
And like I said, I don't dislike Akechi. But I don't know. I just don't understand it. The dude's a fucking psychopath that reveled in murdering people.
I mean,
it's the type of thing like people even in the game were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. It's not his fault he was brainwashed into like. It wasn't his fault that he just willingly killed people." I couldn't think of the words properly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I kind of get you. Just like
they are willing to brush over the fact that he's murdered thing.
I mean, in the Fantasies case, they have to work with them. I get it.
But yeah, like it's believable in terms of the game, but
like people outside of the game, just kind of ignoring that bit. It's kind of, it's a little weird, but I mean, it's not the first time they've done it.
No, and it's.
I mean, like even like
Joker.
For instance, I guess Death Note would be an example I could think of. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like
it's also I being very careful here. Not that Persona doesn't have a habit of reusing things. You've got Ryuji, Yosuke, and Junpei. Like they all play the same type of character. So it doesn't. I get that they do have repeating things, but they have someone similar. In my opinion, there's someone similar to Akechi, but done better in a previous Persona game. It's almost to the point where that in itself is almost a trope. And I feel like there's a better version of him out there.
I could tell you're picking your words oh so carefully.
I am.
I can feel it dripping. The fangirls are beating down the door.
Oh no, it's not that. It's not that. I'm picking my words carefully because I don't want to spoil things.
Don't want to spoil things.
Yes.
Look, it's
About the other games.
Oh, okay. I see.
I don't see a weakness.
That's for my benefit.
That's for the benefit of several people. Because some people, this might be their first Persona game as well.
That's very true.
And I I actually recommend it as people's first Megami Tensei game, if not Persona game.
You know what game I was looking at yesterday night, actually? Because by Atlus. That Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
I've heard okay things about it.
I'm not sure. It's like I'm hesitant to jump into another game because I don't want to go into a game looking for a Persona kind of experience because I don't feel like I'm gonna get it anywhere.
No, at least not anytime soon.
I mean, I hope people learn from Persona and make more RPGs that are fun that I can enjoy. That'll be fun.
I can recommend.
No, we'll talk about
Atlus
that
games.
No, we can do that.
I love Lucifer's Call. Nocturne for you guys.
Is that the one featuring Dante from Devil May Cry?
Yeah, that's the one. Yes.
Okay.
That's
the only thing I know about the game.
That one's a really good one. Another one that I actually think you might like is Devil Survivor. It's kind of like a cross between a turn-based RPG and a strategy a strategy game like Disgaea. Like, the way it works is your guys are on a grid, and then when you meet up to each other, you'll have a turn-based battle.
Sounds interesting. We'll talk about this later. That's a whole other side. That's a side tangent.
The issue with Survivor is playing it. It's on DS.
Oh, good. I mean, I have a DS. If I could find a copy.
Yeah, it's not too hard to find, but it's one of those things. It's like that's the game I would love for them to port to Switch. But yeah, semantics. Persona.
I would like if they port Persona 3 or 4 over to fucking PS4. That'd be great.
I would love it if they port every Atlus game onto Steam.
That would be nice, yes. But it seems like we're struggling with that.
Catherine.
Be happy we get scrambled on fucking.
Hey, Catherine appeared on Steam.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, at least that's something. Maybe in the future.
It's very surprising as well. It's like, oh, stuff might happen.
Oh, I know something we haven't discussed yet.
We were talking about Goro. That's another thing before I finish. Throughout the entire game, I just wanted to throw a glove at Goro's face afterwards, after his confidant.
Okay.
Just wanted to toss it in this.
It was like, it would have been so good, like doing that whole confrontation with him and his shadow self. Just like, glove. It just needed to happen.
That would have been good.
Also, before we move on from him, what were your thoughts on the whole Goro's wasn't automatically leveled up now?
It was...
Like, his confidant is arguably one of the ones that have changed the most.
I'm trying to think how I feel about it. I mean, it was kind of whatever. Like, I'm kind of in that same camp with Goro, like, I don't get his popularity. Like, I kind of, like... To me, he's just, haha, funny, crazy guy. Like, that was what Goro turned into by the end of that. Like, I just enjoyed his psycho personality.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Like, and actually I guess I'll get my one real issue with Goro I have for this whole game. Like, you go through this whole game and with his confidant, and it's like this thing where he is your quote-unquote rival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never once felt like Goro was a rival. Like, at all. That never felt like a thing to be in that game.
I feel like they did a better job this time round. Especially because of the confidants and some of the scenarios they were in. I definitely felt like they had a good sense of, oh yeah, okay, there is something between them, but they didn't. It never reached that point where I went.
It's like the point where like they go to fight. Like, to me,
Second we'll see.
like I felt like they were aiming for more of a Sasuke Naruto kind of feel, and it didn't quite feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like they especially in comparison to the original game, which had very little. This had some steps in the right direction. But the issue I feel was like, yeah, there's not much built up there. And I feel I don't know what they could have really done to improve on it.
I don't know either. That's the thing. Like, I hate being the one that criticizes something but not, offer some kind of fix in a way.
All I know is it's better than what it was.
It definitely was better before. It was just, honestly, I kind of forgot that he was even a confidant. It's like, did he even have any like abilities you learned from him?
It was all the priest. It was all the battle
No,
stuff.
I mean the original. Like, I know the battle one.
No,
but
it's
in the
just
original.
the battle stuff you would get from him for when he'd eventually join.
Oh, okay, so yeah, he wouldn't get...
You didn't
so
get the sleuthing. The sleuthing thing was not a thing.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I couldn't remember if that was. Because it'd been a while, but...
Do you think
The sleuthing thing was nice, honestly. I use that a lot.
It really triggered for me.
How did I make the same problem twice? Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Joker?
Broken did the same layer thing again twice. Such a struggle. But it triggered surprisingly frequently for me. But like it often triggered on enemies I already kind of knew,
Yeah, fair enough.
so it didn't really matter too much. But there was occasions where like an enemy would pop up, and I'd get like the mastery one triggered, and it would just full on
That
expose them. And I'm like,
never showed for me.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
dude! Whenever that showed up, I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Like I literally up until this point I just thought, oh, it's not a thing. Okay.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's a lie.
I just didn't think it was an actual mechanic until you literally just said it.
Yeah, it actually did trigger for me quite a few times.
No.
Crazy.
I already had the one thing trigger.
Leveled up.
One counter to that though is I was very aggressive in getting personas this time around. Like my compendium is the fullest it's ever been in any game ever.
I mean,
And-
mine was more full than my first playthrough for sure, but I wasn't specifically going out of my way to fuse personas.
It's like anytime I needed to empty personas, it'd be like, okay, persona room, execute anything that's new, anything that has that new icon next to it. Just really plow through it, keep fusing until I couldn't, and then once again I got to the stage where I could just buy my way to the being OP. And I'm like, oh, okay, if the game's gonna let me do this.
That
So-
makes sense. I was just kind of... With me, it was just I wanted to have the personas that, like, I needed for the confidants. That was kind of my thing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's normally
So-
when I was removing them. It's like, okay, I need to make room for a lovers. Let's
makes
fuse
sense.
some stuff that I don't need.
a treasure chest?
Show me your true form.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, mine was... Yeah, it was alright. I mean, I definitely did use the persona fusing a lot more this time.
Who's next?
But, like, the first time I played through the game, I don't think I ever did that.
No.
Like, The Velvet Room was like barely ever visited.
I'm not gonna lie, it physically hurt watching you play and using the same persona for so long. I'm like,
Show me your true form.
Oh, that didn't change this time, trust me.
but at the same,
that did not change this time at all. I still had my go-to couple personas of like that I always used.
at the same time, that's one thing I like about this game. It really is. It really does let you play how you want to play.
It's true, it does.
That's one reason why it's so easy to break.
That was easy.
And that's
Because
one reason why Palace fucking 5 boss was so fucking obnoxious.
Let's do it.
I was gonna like talk about other things, but if you want to go there, okay.
Sorry, I just had like, we brought it up like let you play it. I just tilted my head. I'm like,
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that now.
I mean, if you had something else to discuss before.
You've already ruined it.
I needed to get that out of my head. I'm sorry, it was in there. I was ready to shoot something.
That was incredible.
To be fair, that's what I've been doing to a lot of these shadows. My gun is stupidly powerful right now.
Easy win. They were
So
nothing.
Like, I've almost finished the palace.
But yeah. So the one thing I remember we both wanted kind of is maybe a little fix up of Palace 5.
Palace 5 is an interesting palace. Like, there are many flaws with the original.
I think they fixed up a lot.
Yeah.
They definitely made it way less, you know.
A quick rundown of the flaws. The first obvious flaw was just with the story. They didn't really do much with that this time around, but I feel like they couldn't. Because a lot of the game, they've kept it relatively the same. Like,
There was no. Yeah, they couldn't really just go and change that, which I understand.
yeah, I get where. I think they did a better job just in general, letting things not play out, but plan out,
Let's go.
get shown beforehand.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
they
it
did-
was, like, the lead up to it was more sensible.
Yeah, and not even just then. It's like they had hints of stuff going on for like Palace 3 back in Palace 1, and like you heard Medjed's name appear a couple of times before Futaba's palace and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They did a
so it was,
better
like,
job of introducing
being
the
thrust
world.
out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I feel like
Which is
that.
which is good.
I felt like that, in a way, kind of helped smooth things over with that palace as a whole, plot-wise. The plot is still a bit bumpy, and it sucks for Haru that she got her moment taken away from her by the cat again.
Yeah.
But yeah, then of course you had the palace itself, which
The original was much longer. I know it was.
Oh yeah. The original was much longer. Like the barracks section, that alone was a pain in the ass. But
Oh, dude. I remember the one thing you told to me when we were playing that. When you were leaving, you're like, you can go ahead and play that palace while I'm gone. It was so bad that you wanted nothing to do with that palace.
yeah. The rest of the palace isn't too bad, but the barracks is not a good start.
You see, the problem with the beginning of it is that the beginning wears you down so badly that the rest of it becomes bad.
Oh yeah. Like
By the time you get to that, you're like, what do you mean I still have more to do?
Go down.
And it's just, fuck this.
yeah, they've drastically reduced the barracks in this time for it to be more bearable.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there, just, waiting. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to get this key card, and then I'm gonna have to go find another dude and get another key card, and then go find another dude and get another key card. I was like dreading it, and then like once I finished and I was at the next part, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, what?
Yeah, no.
It's over. I was so happy. Like, just that automatically made the entire rest of the palace so much better. Like,
Yeah.
I had a good time the rest of it.
Yeah,
Because of
because admittedly a lot of the palace in the original version wasn't bad. It's the most, I would say in the original game, it's the most gamey of all the palaces.
Yeah.
Like, it's the one that felt more like more traditional dungeon you would find in an RPG. Like long sections, long, almost the annoying puzzles and stuff. But it just was so out of place with everything else. And on top of that, you had the awkward boss and everything. It just really stood out. And like you said, given the way the game was, it stood out a lot, and it kind of forced people who weren't used to Atlus's old RPGs or whatnot, or just RPGs in general, to suddenly have to play differently, or suddenly have to adapt to a different playstyle, or just struggle and be an annoyance throughout most of it.
Yeah,
and
but at least the other one, like the boss, was like, it was manageable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the boss, the original boss, I enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just whatever. It wasn't exactly exciting, but it was fine. It was good for what it was.
For me, I liked it. It was a neat idea. You're just like having to fight through these waves of enemies. Then, of course, we get to the new boss. Actually, I'm going to delay things slightly and just speak and just and just bring out the point that all the bosses, bar the final boss, Yalzabath, have had their bosses retweaked.
Was the last boss not retweaked? I feel like it was.
Nope. I want to. Well, they could have tweaked it slightly, but it's practically the same boss.
I think it was very slightly, because I remember a part where. No, what did happen to me? I'm wrong. No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about it.
But the main reason and why they didn't need to tweak it, that boss was unique enough as it was.
Yeah, it was fine. It was. I had no issues with that boss, really.
Like
other than the fact that I died to like one of the super attacks. I got restart the damn thing.
But yeah, the other bosses within the game have been tweaked to add more dialogue, more flair, more personality, and just make them stand out more. For the most part, this is good. I'm not including 5 in that. I kind of didn't like Komoshido's, the first one. I feel.
The volleyballs?
No, I think my issue with it is that the extra stuff kind of got in the way. There was just a bit too much. Too much them going, oh my gosh, talking essentially during the boss fight.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't need more motivation to hate this guy. Let me fight him.
It was. I enjoyed seeing it, like seeing the cognitions a little more.
I enjoyed that, but I didn't need to then
all that
have
dialogue.
Yeah, like I felt like it was a bit too much, and then especially this being the first boss, I was like, oh, is this gonna happen with all of them? But then Madarame's boss fight was quite cool. Harder.
See, I didn't think that when I fought that boss, oddly enough, when I fought Kamoshida. That wasn't a thought in my process, in my mind. It was like early in the game, and it didn't bug me that they were, having that. It was just like, oh, new stuff for me. I don't know.
My worry was that this was going to be like, they were going to push a lot more dialogue into the bosses, which I don't mind, but it was a excessive amount in my opinion, and I was worried that things are going to just get worse and worse. The way we'd have a 2 hour long cutscene midway through a boss.
Yeah, that does make sense. I get you.
But no,
see, then
Madarame's. I really liked his change. It worked well with his personality.
I was actually not looking forward to his boss fight, his second round, because I remember fighting it in the original, and I really didn't like it. It wasn't bad. It was just not. It wasn't very enjoyable either. I like this one much more.
Yeah,
it worked so much better, and it was just
another nice little thing I like about it as well. Like these tweaks is a lot of the time you see the original form as the first form,
and then it changes
and then
after
you
that.
get So it's
Like
like
once I saw his, I was just like, oh, what's gonna happen? Is he just gonna have Yusuke pop up or some shit and do something? And then like when he just suddenly turned to normal Madarame, I'm like, fuck. And then he like brings out the clothes. I'm like, what the fuck?
oh, because that's the thing. He would turn into normal Madarame. You would hold him up, and then you wouldn't do enough damage to him. So then he'd go into the paintings again, and then you just rinse that
Yeah,
part.
that's what I remembered. That's what I remembered.
So
When I knocked him out of the paintings, I was like, oh, here we go. That's actually. That was actually a lot better.
yeah, and
It was good though.
it was harder, but the good kind of hard, I think.
I didn't struggle with that boss too much.
I died. I know I died.
Really?
Yeah.
On that one? That's weird. I found him easier that time. I don't know what it was. I guess I just managed to. I think because at that point, I think I had Yusuke had the item that stops the weakness or whatever.
Oh, that could be it.
So that made his fight a lot easier. He didn't get like the knockdowns on him. Maybe that was it. I don't remember. But
Well done.
that's fair. Yeah. It was more fun for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun fight. And I liked the little. The third boss, he had the two bees, the bodyguard bees.
Oh yeah, there we go. I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember like what the fuck did he have? How did you handle that one, by the way?
By killing them.
Yeah. Okay. So
I was the snowball had already started by that point.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was doing decently. I was like leveled, matched. That was
Yeah.
one thing I was very determined not to do is fight the Reaper and get over leveled like I did last time, because that made it too easy, and
Yeah.
I didn't want that this time. But with this one, with this boss fight, I don't know. I still feel like he's kind of the weakest dungeon, like
I see
personality wise. Like he just doesn't.
his.
Not much.
I was thinking about this because I like the theme, like the bank heist. That
Oh, yeah,
gets a
definitely.
lot of points for me. Like, there's a lot of good stuff with that fight.
Wow.
Right.
The issue, like, the problem I think people have with it is, like you said, there's no personality with it, yada yada yada. Which is a very actual thing. There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no connection between any things. It's because his threat or his issue is all stuff in the future.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to fuck your life up in the future. But
Right.
everyone else is,
Well then.
oh, we fucked your life all the way up until this point. And then we're going
Yeah.
to make things worse. Like, Kamishita did all shitty stuff. Madarame did all his shitty art stuff. And with Yusuke,
Yeah.
Futaba's life is just fucked. Haru's got, struggled with her father. Sai's past is all hazy and whatnot. Like, everyone's had issues throughout.
This is it.
But
He's the only one that's kind of like, yeah.
his threat is in the future. So you don't have that connection.
Very true. Like you
But-
just don't really have connection.
No. Which I get why people say he's the weakest, and they are true in that regard. But I like it.
I mean, that's not bad. It's just,
Yeah.
I think like him as the boss is like the weakest one, personality wise, and that's coming from someone that can't stand Palace Fives.
Oh, once again, I feel like that has something to do with it, though. Because a lot of the personality of them is the fact that they have a connection with someone.
Yeah, that's very true, actually.
Like, his connection would happen if
After.
yeah. But it's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
But I still liked it. I still liked his fight. The third one it gets a lot of points from me simply because it's in a bank.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's
The
still-
aesthetic alone makes me like that more than I probably should.
Nah, it's not bad. I mean, I
Wow.
didn't think it was a bad level or anything like that. I enjoyed it. It felt short
Now then.
for some reason this time. Like, that's something I noticed. It felt like a lot shorter in the bank, and I don't know why. Because I think it was about the same length, but something about it felt short.
I feel like it's one of the ones that have the least amount of stuff going, like the least changes.
Yeah. And there's no real point you have to go into the real world, I don't think, is there?
No, it's a palace you could do in one day.
Maybe that's why.
And there's a couple of them, but it's also like there's very little branching paths. I don't know. So yeah, you had that. Futaba's boss fight, I felt was kind of, I don't know,
Altered.
It was a bit, and I think I get what they were doing. Like, a lot of what made that boss fight unique was the fact that you talked to the boss and your answers could potentially sway how things went. But I don't know if it was just, you know, they made it easy which ones were the correct answers. But I always answered the right thing, so I just assumed. I'm just assuming that.
I don't know if there was. I think that boss is just a waiting boss. I don't think there's any. I think it's more of a boss survival.
That's where I wonder. Maybe that's not the case, because you know how Futaba helps you a lot in that boss.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking if you picked the wrong answers, she wouldn't help you, or she wouldn't be able to help you or whatnot.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's the only thing I could think of. Else that boss is a lot weaker than what it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. The boss goes by very quickly. I wasn't there for very long. And I don't remember it changing too much, honestly.
I will miss boss 5 for a moment.
Yeah, well, I'll let it skip. We'll go back to that motherfucker.
Boss 6 is Sai.
Sai. That one felt basically the same, besides the fact they had the roulette in now. I don't think that was there before, right?
The roulette was different in the original one.
Wasn't it just the normal, like...
The roulette
was
was the same as the first half of the fight.
Yeah. This time they changed, like, the element. That was cool.
Yeah, that wasn't something I actually got to experience much of, however.
No.
No.
Yeah,
She didn't get past one element.
Yeah, I had the fear when she landed on Almighty.
Did she for you? See?
I was like, oh no. I'm like, you fucking whore. Unfortunately, I had healing for that, so it wasn't a big deal, and I was almost done with her. But god, yeah, it was like, you bitch.
Oh no, she landed on nuke for me, and she never got a chance to reroll.
Rip.
It's also the type of thing that, yeah, she does have different dialogue for the different elements and everything.
Yeah, which is neat.
Oh, I should probably not be rushing.
But yeah, for the most part, she was pretty much the same. It wasn't that, which is pretty.
It was one of those things, though.
Expected.
And like I said, with the last boss, the main reasons why I don't think they changed it much is because they didn't need to. This boss was strong enough.
It was fine as it was. I feel like they changed the ones that needed it more than didn't.
Yeah.
Which is good in some aspects. But
Shido
was different. It took me a second to realize it, but like the last bit where it's just you and him.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
When that happened, I wasn't ready for it, and I was like, wait, what? I was like,
oh
like,
shit!
I'm not gonna lie,
Sorry.
the only reison I got through that
So,
was
I just need to distract you really quickly. This is the first time I saw Anne's gun, and it's just a golden Tommy gun. I was like, oh damn. Okay, sorry. Yes, Shido.
But yeah, like, I think the only reason I survived that is I happen to have like some repellents on me and like debilitators and shit.
Yeah.
Cause like that was a tough part, especially when you've been depending on your teammates for that long.
Oh yeah, and it's a very neat thing. Like it just to
so cool.
See, that's how I feel like the whole what's his face, the Mariuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, oh yeah, that's how that boss should have been, but it kind of didn't end that way.
I feel like it ended the way it should have with his. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but like the amount of awesomeness that one was, and then you had his. I don't know. I feel like Shido's a lot more cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then as we said, the God of Control, that's still the same. That didn't change anything. I guess if we mention Maruki one more time real quick, we already kind of went over his though. There is one thing I didn't mention about his. I just gotta gush about this. Okay, so you know the last bit where you stop the fist or whatever and you're going to finish him off?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in this game has made me ever shout in my head, please give me an action command, more than that last scene.
Oh, the fire?
Yeah, and like, as it was leading up to that, I'm like, please just give me an action command, please give me, and like, once he pulls out the gun, I just see the X on screen, I'm like, yes! Like, I felt so good. Like, that bit was so good.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed that so much.
Well, one thing I kind of messed up at that point, for some reason, I was just so used to, you know when you get the ambush thing and you can just hold down fire X and keep shooting. I just was like, okay, I'm ready. So I was ready to bash it, and then it was just the one shot. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It would be the one bullet.
Right. It was so good though. That was an awesome way to end that fight. I love that.
Also, just highlights the point that Joker just needs to shoot people in the head more.
Right.
God of Control, really boom. Maruki, boom.
Like,
it probably would work on Akechi as well. Boom.
Right.
Just end it straight away.
A game where the protagonist just shoots everybody in the head. There's no boss fight. It's just like it just starts one shot, man. It sounds amazing. But yeah, so I just had to mention that real quick because we kind of missed that bit when I was talking about it.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. Like, I feel like that is also another reason why I feel like the fist fight afterwards kind of deflated things. I know it was just him getting a lot of this out. Like, he was just working shit out himself, but I don't know.
I can say I genuinely felt bad for him. Like once I found out what happened, like with the the girl he loved and everything, like I was legit feeling bad for Marukia.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, damn, bro, that shit's rough.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. It is what makes him a good antagonist.
Very true.
Like it's someone that you can go. He's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to stop him.
It was actually like legit a point of like. It was almost morally questioning with him, like, is this better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course, you come up to the decision at the end, like, yes, this is the correct thing, but it really actually did feel like more of a, is this right kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, me being me, I already knew in my head, like, as daft as it sounds, I know that it's not worth having this whole fake reality type thing. Like,
yeah, no, I was the same way. Like, I was like
personally, I just knew that doesn't work.
Yeah, it sounds good on paper. It's one of those deals.
But I know from experience that pain and suffering is a very important part of life.
Yeah, it builds a little bit.
Yeah, and as daft as it sounds, I'm surprised Yusuke wasn't one of the first people to be like, no, we need pain and suffering.
Right.
He's a fucking artist, man.
You should know.
Fuck, I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, okay, we kind of went through all the bosses real quick, so...
No, I just mean in the game, like...
Oh!
I guess I just hang out with Ryuji now?
Guess we're just homies and chill?
Of course he's not fucking here today.
Better pass the time, make some lockpicks.
I might just go and train?
Yeah, fuck it, might as well.
Now, oh, I guess I'll do the Confidants? I don't know. I don't care.
But,
Okay, yeah, I'll stop taking that your sweet your moment from you. I'll let you finally have it.
Fuck Palace 5's boss. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. How did you manage to make everything in this game so much better? And you made the one worst palace of the game go from way better to the worst again. Like, how did you fuck this up that badly? Like, genuinely confused. Like, in a game where you are encouraged even to play your way, they decide to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna just expect you to have defense dropping persona abilities and shit in this one fight. Like, what the actual fuck?
Well.
See, I never did. Huh? I never used that.
I didn't either, but like okay, so let me explain this. So in the original game, the boss fight was just basically waves of enemies. You got like 4 of these guys, and you had to kill them, get through them, whatever, moved on. In this one, you get 2 waves of enemies first that you fight, and once they're dead, this 4th one appears. Now, you have to kill all 4 of these before they run away in 2 turns. And if they run away in 2 turns, you are unable to kill them, and then they get reset to basically new. And this repeats for the 30-minute time limit you have on this boss. And they are not... It doesn't matter if you hit their weakness. There's no all-out attacks.
Good evening.
There's no... nothing. You just have to basically... And they're like super tanky too, right? Like, yes. It wasn't just me. They were tanky as fuck. Like, I had to basically pour every ability I had into one group to wipe it out. Only to find that there's another group right after you have to do the same thing that are even tankier. Like, what the fuck, game?
I get what they were going for. This is the most annoying thing about this boss, is there's a good boss fight there. It's just that they've fucked it up in terms of what they needed to do. They needed to have either a combination of them.
Hey.
So then there would be multiple weaknesses available for you, so then you would have different party members able to knock them down, so you can build that button pass chain.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they needed to have it that they each one had 2 weaknesses, say, so then you could still do that.
You're back.
Because essentially what it boils down to is a DPS race, or a DPS check. That's the whole boss. Can you do enough damage in this set amount of time? That is what it boils down to. But overall, it doesn't work because it handicaps you by removing one of your best methods of doing damage, which is the all-out attacks. And
as well as the showtimes, right? The showtimes were disabled, I think, too.
I don't know. I never relied on them. But yeah,
I never got one. But
it's the type of thing. If the boss made you rely on them, then that would be even more dumb. So
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, all our attacks just disabled, and then of course you have the whole weakness system, which is crippled because they only have the one weakness. That would
didn't even do much to them.
It wouldn't even be an issue if you could. Only one party member would have a weakness to the counter to that one weakness.
Yeah.
So you couldn't continue the baton pass up, and it was just, I don't know.
It just didn't work. It was like, I don't know what they expect. Like, the method for me to beat this boss was so dumb. I had to go up a difficulty. I had to go to Merciless to beat this boss because the weakness damage was tripled.
Wow.
And then God help me when I found out there was another phase beyond that. And then Haru at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it frustrates me because the last two phases, Haru and the big robot, they're fine. It's the two
They're
phases
perfectly fine.
before then that is like, you guys are way too buff to not have more weaknesses, or honestly, it wouldn't be so bad if they wouldn't run away as well.
Or at least, even if there was another turn, like, most of the time, I could get them pretty low,
Do it.
but then they would run away, because 2 turns.
Yeah, I would have it that I'd killed 3 of them and then 1 would run away. I was like, why?
Like, I can't, like, the amount that I had to focus once to take out a wave of them on hard mode when I was just leaving on normal difficulty that I was on. Like, I had to focus every single party member's attack perfectly. Like, it was like, I think it was Joker uses a Psy attack on one of them, knock him down, and then passes it to, like, Makoto, who used, like, a Psy item I had. I didn't have a lot of them, so I had to use, one. And then I baton passed to Haru, who would use, the group attack to knock all of them down and do as much damage as they could.
Yeah.
And then it was like, of course, and maybe if like they were vulnerable to text and stuff like that, it would be better. But like they seem to be blocking most elements. Like most elements didn't work on them. I think shock did, and so did freeze. And freeze seemed to have like a reduced effectiveness because like MVP of my game, freeze spray. Like I kid you not, I went into like I think I went to Maruki's palace at the end with like 50 freeze sprays. That shit was like gold to me, man. Like, oh look at this enemy has no weaknesses. Freeze spray, shatter. Freeze spray, let him use his turn up, shatter.
Oh,
like it was so useful.
I will admit, I had a similar situation with Makoto's forgetfulness.
Yeah.
It's so good. Couple that with Haru, and then the billiards thing to knock, like,
Guaranteed knockdown.
guaranteed knockdown. I was like, lol.
Right? It was just so good.
And it was also the type of thing that, because Haru was typically, well, is slower than Makoto, Makoto would normally go first, then the enemy, then Haru. So it'd be like, Makoto would make them forget, they wouldn't be able to do anything, then Haru would knock them down.
Yeah, I gotta get that. I use shock a lot as well. Shock's something I used a lot more, but I use Ryuji a lot more. That's something I didn't do in the last game. Ryuji kinda got benched after like Palace 1. But I started using him a lot more.
Is this what you deal with?
What they use.
Oh,
Done already?
that sounds like an internet going dead.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, you're back.
Oh,
No
that's weird.
slacking off.
Yeah, you didn't cut out this time for me. I heard you the whole time.
You just, like, roboted for a bit.
Tomo arigato, Mr. Robot. Yeah, but I was looking up online, and it seems like the intended method is to get, like, defense lowering abilities to make it more worth it.
Well, it does play in there are multiple ways of doing it, but it's frustrating because we was that. Well, for one, the palace as a whole was improved.
Yeah, I was actually ready to praise it by the end of it. I think I was. I was talking to William at the time while do that because I told him like I was about to play the worst palace in the game. Did he want to talk to help me keep my sanity? And he was like, yeah, whatever. And I saw you talking the whole time, and I was enjoying myself.
And then the boss happened.
Yeah, and then the boss came, and he was just even he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like it's a misstep, and as I've said before, the issue is it's something that has the potential of being a fun fight.
It could have been good, but they just,
Yeah.
Just for Persona, what was it? Persona 5 Royaler.
Spoiler.
Royaler. The remake.
Yeah. Okay.
I swear I'm gonna have PTSD if I see him in Scrambled.
You're back.
If he pops up in Scrambled, I'm just gonna scream.
Hey, he can't pop up and scramble. He's dead.
I'll just add this.
I don't know why I keep calling it Scrambled. I know it's Strikers, but like in my head, the first time I heard them announce it was I always heard Persona 5 Scrambled, and like so ever since then I've been saying Scrambled. I just the thing. I think that game will come out and I will rename it. I'm gonna write in my box Persona 5 Scrambled. I want a Scrambled edition. It shows my Prison Labor playing like for the last like 5 minutes.
Prison Labor is such a good song.
Oh, I didn't get to ask you. What did you think about the last couple like songs that were in there, the new ones?
Oh,
I mentioned like the infiltration theme, but like throw your mask away, throw away your mask, like Maruka's boss fight theme.
it's alright. Admittedly, stuff like that, I didn't make a point of listening too much of.
Nah.
No, it's. I find that other than like 2 exceptions, most of the music didn't quite hit me until afterwards. It's true with me with most songs. Like typically, it'd be like, normally I know that a song has hit me well when I'm doing something completely different, and then I go,
in your head.
yeah, and then be like, oh, I like this song. I need to start listening to this some more.
When you're just sitting there, it's like, da, da, da,
Yeah,
da, da.
like that's what's happened with that theme song, with the battle song. Like,
Takeover was so good.
as soon as I start humming it outside of playing the game, then
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I've got, I can get behind this. The only
I
2
believe
exceptions
it-
were the penguin sniper, because it's just awesome. Like that is like classic.
That is just the best name for a fucking darts place, by the way. Penguin Sniper. Like,
Please head to
that is like amazing. I love that name.
But yeah, it's like that is classic Megami Tensei music right there. And then Prison Labor as well. It's just like that
Let's
is.
see, I believe really stuck with me. That one, Takeover obviously did. The main theme, that one I was talking about, that one stuck with me a lot. I found myself humming that one a lot.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them as well is possibly because I was actively streaming and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
I know I'm going to get a hold of the soundtrack. I've got the soundtrack in the box somewhere, wherever the box
Oh
is.
yeah, I already ripped out mine, and it's on my computer now.
Yeah.
It's in my car too. I've been listening to it every day I go drive. I listen to that.
But yeah,
Throw
it's
Away
like
Your Mask is one of the songs that stuck with me afterwards. That's Maruka's boss fight theme. But I actually like it because the words of the song actually go really well with the boss.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to it at the time, so obviously focused. But
yeah,
Now
that's
that-
another thing. It's like I said, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
during that
you wanna
first
do it?
part of the boss fight, I was not talking too much because it was like, okay, I need to plan. I'm doing the stuff. I was really happy. But yeah, music in general, I just really loved. He knocked out the park, and my internet just got knocked out of the park.
Well then.
It's Sunday.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do on a Sunday day. We could. I guess we are just going to train all day on the Sunday. Gotta get them HPs up.
You wanna do it? Yes.
I gotta love the internet when it just decides that it doesn't want to cooperate.
Alright.
Thankfully, though, it's not cooperating. It's not cooperating the most in.
Alright.
What's the word I'm looking for? During the time when I'm doing the post game wrap up stuff, not doing the actual game.
oh hey,
Ow! That was loud. Hi. And now he's quiet again. And no, he's just like nowhere to be seen. There we go.
that's weird. My mic wasn't picking up anything. I was talking, but like it just didn't pick up anything. That was.
Nope. Hello?
All right.
Did it go again so quickly? Oh. I heard something.
Hey.
Hi.
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 Yeah, I was talking the whole time. I don't know what happened.
No, I just didn't want to listen to you anymore.
Ah, yeah, that's fine. I'm used to
that.
Seems the internet issues have not been.
We lasted a good hour.
Yeah, that was a good bit. I don't know why else I decided to be a bitch.
So, words. Music in this game is good.
Yeah. Have we? Is there anything we haven't really talked about that we want to go over?
One thing I wouldn't mind. There's a couple of other things I wouldn't mind, but one thing. Oh, damn it! I have to actually.
I mean, it's hard to
pay
cover
attention.
everything because there's so much in this game.
Yeah.
Like they added so much. It's just like, how do you even talk about everything in one? comprehensive-
One thing I want to get your opinion on, or one person I should say, is Jose.
See, maybe there's more to him that I don't know about. Like when you get everything.
There are some lines of dialogue that you get after.
Oh, so it's not like any kind of special thing after that. But I'm gonna be real. I feel he was pretty inconsequential to this whole thing.
Like at one point, I thought he was going to be more involved.
That was my hope.
Well, at one point, I thought he was maybe directly or indirectly connected with Mayuki. Because of the whole wishes coming true, he had the whole wish thing.
Yeah.
There's obvious similarities between him and Pinocchio. There's a
I
lot
just feel like
going
they could've
on
been-
there.
Yeah, it could have just been explained more. Maybe that's just setting up for
Well,
strikers, and maybe he'll pop up in there, and we'll get some more explanation about him.
I don't even know if he will.
I
But
don't know. Either.
There's some lines that, for one, I can't help feel like he is somehow involved with the Velvet Room.
He does give that vibe a little bit.
Another good giveaway is his eyes.
Yeah, his eyes and the hair both kind of.
Well, it's not the
Exactly.
hair, it's the eye color. Like, I'm amazed, now that I stop and think about it, Morgana's eyes aren't that color. But then, of course, that could have given it away a bit sooner, and they don't always have to have the same color, but all the attendees, Elizabeth, Theodore, Lavenza, and Margaret all have the same eye color.
Yeah.
And he does hint that he's sent there from some person. He doesn't say who. The only thing he comments on is how they're harsh yet nice. And my immediate hope is it's Elizabeth, because I just always wanted to be Elizabeth.
I don't know. To me, if anyone felt kind of shoved in, it was definitely Jose.
I don't mind his shoving in age though.
No,
'cause-
it's very inconsequential.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't affect anything in a bad light, so it's like it doesn't upset me. But
No.
he definitely felt a little more shoved in than the rest of the cast did.
Please head to the
Yeah.
exam room.
Although saying that, I love Jose. He's adorable.
Oh no, as a character, great. Like no complaints from that end. Good job.
I
Like, I love the little good job.
yeah.
But he just didn't feel quite like he had a reason to be there.
I wonder. It's the type of thing. I wonder how much was altered. Like, how many ideas they had with so many things, and be like, okay, we can't do all the things we want to. But we can at least salvage Jose.
Some idea. Yeah, some idea.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's just
You're back.
And of course, like, it's the other issue being in huge quotation marks. Persona is not the small
You wanna do it?
little side series that it once was. Like,
Yeah.
even before Persona 5, you could, like, Persona 4 was huge, obviously, but Persona 5 changed that to a huge degree. Whereas they obviously know there's going to be spin-offs, there's going to be sequels, there's going to be so many other things that they could do something like introduce a character like Jose and
This is it.
hint
I'm sure
that,
about it.
yeah, have him be a character kind of like an Igor, kind of like a any Velvet Room assistant in a way that just appears now and again.
I'm willing to believe that he's a possible future assistant. Like if I was to go into the next Persona and fucking go in the Velvet Room and there's just Jose standing there, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't think he was assistant, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next whatever. Jose will be there in the randomized area, potentially filling out a similar role.
Maybe.
Like, it's the type of thing I could see them doing. We'll have Jose be the guy who goes out and explores different aspects of humanity, and we'll have him you know, help alter or make the random things to be a bit more fun. He can be the store, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I get you.
And,
I guess I should answer the question though, because I really didn't answer.
wait, which
I
one?
kind of went on. The one you asked me about what I thought about Jose, because I kind of just said that he felt a little shoved in, but like
You could say
as a
he
character-
felt a bit wooden.
Oh, God, stop. But like as a character, I enjoyed him. Like I liked him. I thought he was kind of funny.
He's
just-
anything but wooden. Ironically
again,
enough.
his little good job was always fun to hear.
Yeah.
But
I think he wins in terms of best menu.
Jesus, I was just about to say his menu is so good. It's just so cool.
I loved the little touch of when you go to the cognition thing, he throws up a star, swings it, and as he does, you
Right.
see Joker duck. Like, Joker ducks under the hammer. And it's just like, oh.
It's so good. The whole menu is just amazing. I love that menu. Same thing with the crystals that were there. Those are pretty cool. Like the will seeds that you collected.
Oh, right, yeah.
I do have a complaint about those though. Like, from what they seemed like, it seemed like the will seeds were going to
Hey,
be.
it's Yoshizawa. She's waiting at the train station.
But
Right.
the will seeds felt like they were all going to turn into like basically more powerful items that you would kind of have to choose when to use and not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks that after like basically the first two, they all kind of turned into basically like how do you describe it? Like just basically normal buff spells.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing was going on with that after the first. You know, it was like that was.
Hey.
I feel like they would be a very hard thing to balance anyways, because getting the first one, my initial reaction was like, oh, is that all it does?
For me, I was like, oh, it was a really good heal, and I was like, it raises attack. Like, I'm cool with this. Like, you know, it was a buff, but it wasn't like outrageous.
Admittedly, like, when I say is that all it does, I saw the heal, and I was like, this isn't even the best heal.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, yes, it's really handy now. Don't get me wrong, but in the grand scheme of things, this isn't going to be something I use.
Right.
And admittedly, the will seeds possibly shouldn't be things like that.
All right.
But I've got a nasty habit of looking at things for the late to end game.
I used the weakness one the entire game.
I only use it now because Pixie has a weakness I cannot counter. Like, there is no skill for removing the gun count weakness. So I've just given up on the SP band thing and just shoved the weakness
I
thing
didn't
on.
use that a lot this time, which was nice, honestly. I didn't like having to be stuck on that all the time, so switching it up was nice.
One thing I would have liked, I know it would have made the game too broken, but the game is already broken, is having 2 accessory slots.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
even if there were just like limited accessories, maybe one gives a skill, the other one just gets
Well
buff.
then.
That would have been fine with me, whatever. But like, just something.
I would have been happy if it was a Confidant hidden ability.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, you hung out with Jim from down the street, and now you know how to wear 2 accessories at once.
Jim down the street.
Yeah, you know.
He taught you his secrets of putting on 2 belts. God, Jim's a weird one.
It's funny, I didn't realize at first when I said Jim, but that is what I named my the Persona character, the MC in the first game.
That's funny.
Jim Goldblum.
Oh god, that's hilarious. But, yeah, it would have been nice to experiment with.
I feel like you could have had a lot more interesting combinations then.
Yeah, it's kind of inconsequential right now. It's like it's a minor buff, but like it was hard to overwrite the SP ones as well, the adhesive.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of why I was also liking the fact that they had special things, because it made me feel like, oh, well, I want to keep this on rather than adhesive because it gives me a bigger boost, you know?
Yeah.
So once they stop being useful, I'm like, well, I have no reason to put anything else on this. Like, I'm just gonna put the adhesive on.
Oh,
And that's what I did for like Makoto and all them. I think they still have it on for the end of the game.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing. It's just like, eh.
I feel like they could have just done things a bit better, but oh well.
well then.
I mean, and then there's the whole cutscene, the Devil May Cry cutscene of them binding. Like, fuck. Dude, that was so Devil May Cry. That was like, it reminded me of like the blue skull lantern you get in Devil May Cry 4. Like, it looked just like that. What the fuck?
I got a note here that says, where was it? I like how they've changed. Well, I suppose like is a word I can use.
Yeah.
The fact that they've changed how a lot of the Confidant rewards are.
Well, they kind of had to. I mean, they got rid of the Baton Pass one.
Baton Pass one?
Yeah, the one that lets you. Wait, are you talking about like your teammate confidants or the?
Oh,
like,
just
the random ones.
in all of them.
Oh, okay.
This is
They did change it up a good bit, didn't they?
But it's like the ones that really hit home for me more than anything is the fortune teller. Her one, the one that I remember most with her is early on you get the ability to see all the rewards of the other confidants. That is much later down, and a lot of hers now rely on money. But I feel she quickly will become high on the list of people you should rank up as quickly as you can.
Really?
Because her first unlock is gives you the ability to get an extra point in any social stat for the day.
Well, the problem with her
Is she's
Is
a bitch to unlock.
she's like available way later, isn't she?
I want to say no. She gets available around Palace 3.
Are you sure? Because I didn't get her till way later. I felt like.
She's available roughly around Palace 3. It might be like slightly later, like after Palace 3, but before Palace 4, that area.
I think
But-
it was after 5 for me.
But you need to give her 100,000 yen.
Yeah, the 100,000 yen. for
And
the
do
stone.
a
mental
social
mission.
link a request of mementos, and you have to spend a couple of nights with her as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, yeah.
But I do think she's quickly become worth it. And then, of course, the other abilities is like being able to get extra points with a confidant without using time. And her
I do wonder something, actually. Sorry to interrupt.
just finish this quickly, because the final thing is being able to go, yeah, just tell me what to say to confidants.
That's pretty
And basically the best answer will be highlighted in red.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
No, that's fine. We just had this thought. I wonder if you can get some confidants available sooner if you open up areas earlier. Because you know how you can read books and that'll get areas for you unlocked?
The only ones that you can the only areas you unlock with books are ones that are technically optional. Like there aren't any that you go
like story-wise?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. I wish you could like actually go places, but I get it. It would just be cool if you had some more agency in controlling when you unlock some of these things.
I suppose.
Like, it'd be cool if you were able to go to, you know, the... Like, maybe rather than them running into you at random times throughout the story, like, you can go there and get a cutscene activated, you know what I mean? Even if it was just a little different one. Like, instead of running into, like, the photographer at Yusuke's place, you ran into her by the bar.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, why would you go into the bar?
Well, maybe if you're just exploring, you know? If you just go there yourself. I don't know. That's just a thought.
It's one of those things that I don't mind the idea. But it's also an idea that would be like... It opens up a lot of possibilities that's like... Would I rather them do that or put that time into something else?
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, and it's one of those, there's no right answer either. Because the time they could be put into that, like, let's face it, the time they put into the 5th boss, I would have rather that gone anywhere else. I'd rather they not put time into that boss. Just leave it as it was.
I get you. I don't know, that's just my thought on it, but...
Yeah, it's like I said, there's nothing there that... I don't know. One thing I do like, it's a little thing, but it still makes me happy. It's the different, unique moves for some personas. Sorry, I needed a drink. Like, you had Satan, the Adder's Kiss.
Adder's Kiss?
Yeah, it's Satan's unique move.
I don't think I used it.
Oh, look cool! Like, a snake just bites them from underneath.
Oh, was it the one that gave, like, the status ailment thing?
Don't think so. It's an almighty move, severe damage or critical damage to one foe. But you had that, you had Alice's Die For Me, which is hilarious in this game. Just a bunch of teddy bears with dynamite strapped onto them jump onto the enemies. Lucifer's Morningstar. It's these unique moves that just make highlight
also,
certain
I forgot you can
personas.
apparently get Joker's like ultimate persona from the Diablo fight or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can get that.
I want to say it might be tied behind some of the hidden bosses, or it's just a New Game Plus.
Maybe. I don't know, because I would love to get that. Because I always thought it was weird that you didn't have it after the ability to unlock it.
That's something I wanted to point out. In this game, doesn't he, in the original, he didn't... words.
He didn't unlock it.
Got that?
In this version, he actually became the world.
He became in the last one.
Did he, though?
Yeah,
You want to do
I
it?
want to say he didn't.
he did. Because how would I have known about the world card at all?
I don't
Because this would
know.
have been my first experience with it. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, Persona 5, the World Arcana.
Yeah, the Arcana was there, but I don't think he.
Yeah, 'cause he- Maybe it was
Okay,
different?
yeah, no, I think what I'm thinking of is potentially the actual Persona then.
Maybe.
Like
I don't know, 'cause
the big Persona dude.
Maybe, because I know... Because I was like sitting there, I'm like, I wouldn't know about the World Arcana if he didn't get it. Like, there's just no way I would know about it. That's not even a thing I knew about.
Yeah.
So, like...
Well, I was wrong there.
Okay, I'm not... I was crazy for a moment. I'm like, am I losing it?
A couple of other points we should talk about is the Thieves Den.
Oh, that was pretty neat. That was cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
a neat
nice.
little thing. I kind of find it one thing completely pointless in that though is hey look, there's transformations. You can't do anything with them though. The
I know,
moment-
right? It was
The
the moment you
moment,
do anything else.
yeah, they pop poof. It's like, oh well, that sucks.
It's okay,
wanna-
I got to look at Sumiri, so it's alright. It's all good.
Let's see other things. Leventa.
Actually, there's something we haven't talked about at all, which is amazing.
The Showtimes.
Yeah, we haven't talked about them at all.
Yeah, it's on my list.
I hadn't got there, but that was going to be on my list. That was in Madarame's Palace, so I was going to mention it at that point, I think. But, yeah, Showtimes were fucking awesome.
Yes.
They were such a nice little, like...
You're back.
A nice little, like, breather when you needed it.
It was also a nice thing of it helps show. One thing I felt that the original definitely lacked was a sense of teamwork in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see the 8 of them actually hanging out that much,
Right.
despite
No,
how much they were saying they did.
It just didn't seem to work out. But
Yeah.
then, like, once you see that, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm starting to see them form their friendships and stuff. It's like, okay, yeah. I really started to get it then. I got their friendship, and as soon as you get that thing, it's like, oh, I can see them actually hanging out. It makes
Yeah,
a
like
lot
this
of it
part.
easier.
It does help a lot.
Yusuke
Yusuke and An.
Yusuke's hands.
All right.
That was a fun one. Really
So
liked
I
that
have to ask, what was your favorite one?
one. I mean, do we have to ask?
Yes.
Is it not really obvious?
No, because there's some strong contenders.
It was Sumiri's and Joker's. I am fully able to admit that it's complete bias, though. If that helps.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, that's the thing. It's like there is no right answer because practically all of them are strong. I think the weakest one is Anna Morgana's, and a lot of that could simply be because you see it the most.
I think it's because it's just a cat.
But it's also the first one you see, and because of that, you see it a lot more than everything else.
All right.
True.
So it's like, okay, I don't need to see this one again. And then by the time you get to someone else, then it's like a breath of fresh air.
Very true.
Um,
But like, if I had to go with top
Make sure to
3,
do the dishes.
definitely Sumiri and Joker is my top. After that, it's probably Haru Makoto.
Haru Makoto is pretty good.
It's fucking fantastic. It's so good.
I would say that is probably my favorite, just because of how happy Haru is running up to them.
Alright.
Right?
Plus,
She fucking drop kicks him. It's fucking great.
drop kicks them or the axe dive or whatever, X dive.
It's so good.
And then, of course, the lancet from Makoto.
It's so good, dude. I have a hard time picking a third. Like, third top one is, like,
My-
really hard to pick.
The Haru Makoto one's probably my favorite. It's really closely followed by, like, super damn close followed by Yusuke and Ryuji's.
That one's really good, too.
Like, I just love the little fist bump they do afterwards, and then straight back into eating. Like, it was like,
It's so good.
yes, okay, I can see these guys. This is what they enjoy doing in their lives.
Right. That totally does work. I'm torn between that one. Another one I really love is Akechi's.
People really like that one. I do to a degree, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I really would have loved? I know it doesn't make sense, but I so wanted Yoshizawa and Akechi to have one.
That would have been great.
Then
I would've loved
everyone
it.
would
I
have
would've
had
tried
two.
Yeah, I would have loved that. That would have been great, actually.
And I feel like Yoshizawa's... I don't know. I know a lot of them did drag, but I felt hers dragged a bit too much.
Yeah, that is my one complaint about hers, I would say, is it was just a little bit too long.
Yeah.
It was just a tinge. Like, it was the part with her and Kasumi.
Yeah.
Like, that part just didn't need to be in there as long.
And
It could have been like a short little reflection and then boom, done.
or at least have it broken up with Joker doing more, a bit more. Like, it just felt a bit too
Drawn out.
one-sided.
True.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I love that one just because it's just good.
Yes. There are no bad ones. Like,
Maybe
I
the cat
love-
one. Cat one, all that.
no,
I
it's
think
funny.
I think it's super weak. Honestly.
I loved it. And especially that it changed the status, the portrait in the stats for a couple of turns or whatever.
I
In
didn't
the
notice
menu.
that actually.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Maybe because I never used the cat that much. I didn't pay attention to him. But I also
Same with
what I
Ab.
liked about the Showtime is I like the comments that Futaba makes after like they do those.
Oh yeah.
Those are always fun.
Have you?
Like the one with like Ryuji and Makoto. I love it's just like I love that reference. So good. Like I can totally see Ryuji doing something like that. That's the best part.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. It helps make the characters feel more real.
Yeah, it's really good. It was good. Good touches on that one. I approve.
Is there anything else you could think of?
I'm trying to think if there's anything we haven't talked about.
There is one thing I wouldn't mind talking about that has nothing to do with Persona 5. So I feel like it's something to end
Okay.
off. Is basically
Okay.
my thoughts on what Persona 6 should be.
Okay. Down for that. One thing. We didn't. It's not like the most important thing, but grappling hook was fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up. I completely forgot. The
I had it
ability.
written down on my list. That's why I remembered.
No, the grappling hook was really good. I love the Yoshizawa's ability to grapple hook onto enemies.
So I don't think I ever attacked enemies normally after I got that. Like I constantly attack from a distance if I had the option, unless there's like a tight corridor.
The one issue I had is like, why couldn't Joker do it for Morgana in Mementos? Like just grapple hook through the windscreen.
That would have been way too amazing.
Also, speaking of that, how awesome was it that Morgana turned into a helicopter at the end?
Oh, we didn't even talk about this. Jesus Christ. That was like... I could not. I was just sitting there like, alright, well, how is this gonna end now? Like, I'm sure someone's gonna save him, but like... And then Morgana's a fucking helicopter. I'm like, what?
The thing I find hilarious as well is the amount of text afterwards. They were like, yeah, don't expect this to happen very often. Oh yeah, it was the star and the star helped us. It was an emergency. It was all very tense. Don't expect this to happen again.
Don't expect it again. That was still funny. It was great. It was still. It's like there's like I think there's actually a point. Wasn't there a point in one of the dungeons where they asked Morgana if he could turn into a helicopter?
Oh yeah.
Specifically, yeah. He's like, no. That was great. The whole, also a not important thing, but human Morgana was weird. Didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. It was just. I was like, can you go back to the cat now? And even as a human, you still tell me to go to bed.
The thing I find hilarious about all that is like, okay, dream situation, everything's all good. Only the one bed.
Right.
Dream a little bigger, cat.
I was really hoping that we got to fight with Morgana in that form for a little while. I'll be honest. Because it would have just been so weird to see.
Would it be a what's it called? What was the git glitch? Oh, I can't remember now. It basically would be Morgana, but the human one, but with the same rig as the cat. So the model would be all deformed.
No. That would be hilarious.
I'm sure someone will. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure the internet's quick on this shit. Someone's already halfway through the code finding the model. They're implementing it as we speak to put up their video online.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I think that's about. Well, I mean, unless you want to talk about the new area that they added, the little shopping spot.
Oh, that was cool.
Not much. It was cool. I mean, there wasn't much to talk about besides.
I wish I'd realized how powerful the jazz club was.
I didn't even get to go into it. That's something I really should have gone into once you told me. But
yeah.
I just didn't have the time anymore. I was already at that point. I was.
Yeah, no, jazz club was really potent.
Anything else? Oh, ammo at the start of battles.
Yeah, makes sense.
Great.
I love
that. Was nice.
It was one. I can't remember. Someone commented it's like a very small change that made a big impact on the game.
It really did. Like, it was just so nice to actually be like not be afraid to use my guns.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do this round. Like, I don't have anything super effective against them. Just pour more rounds into them.
Yeah, and knowing that it does more damage than your normal attack, but you could only really do what. Realistically, you could only use it once a battle per character.
Yeah,
and
plus it was always really fun. Like, when the enemy was super low, I was like, oh, I'll just shoot him till they're dead. I'll pull out the gun, shoot, and they'll die in one shot. I'm like, oh.
It was so satisfying. I cannot tell you how satisfying it was to have Haru Grenade Launcher, the god of control, to death.
I'm a little upset what they did with Haru's. I'm gonna be honest.
What?
Like, I know they reduced the ammo capacity.
She only had one shot.
Yeah, but that really bugs me.
Yeah, but she always only had one shot.
No, she had 3 before.
Yeah, but 1 per battle.
Yeah, but it's just like, I think part of my issue with it is that she has 5 grenades strapped to her fucking side of her belt, and I'm just like,
yeah,
Haru, sweetheart, you can shove one more in there. It's okay.
No, they're on her belt, not in her gun. Duh.
I was just like, Haru, please just shove one more in there. Like, you are the gun character. You have.
I feel, given how her gun was, though, it would be totally broken. Like, her best gun is.
Oh no, I don't think she should have had more than 2. Like, honestly, like.
I think 2 is too much.
You think so?
Yeah. The only issue I think it would have.
Okay.
The only way 2 would have been acceptable is if they reduced the accuracy.
It was the lowest accuracy gun.
Yeah.
Like, it was
and
already stupidly low.
I don't know. I'm okay with it because it's always so satisfying.
I get it. I mean, I feel like with one shot, having a lower accuracy is just kind of like bullshit. It's like, all right, well now I have this one shot. If I miss, that's it.
Yeah, but it hits everything.
That's true, but plus it's weird that it could hit some things and then miss others. It's like, what? It always confused me when it happened.
Nah, just think of it as they like dodging the blast or getting sheltered by a corpse.
The corpse of their friend.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else that happened that needs to be discussed? Oh, I think we mentioned this, some minor thing, but there felt like there was more book reading chances.
Oh yeah, it totally was.
Like, I got through a lot of books this playthrough.
Yeah.
Like, a shit ton. To the point I have nothing left to read. Like, that was pretty crazy.
Oh, that's a weird thing. I can now start Gundad, like, straight away.
Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah, there's the stuff with LeBlanc. There was we can actually do stuff with LeBlanc at night during points of the story when you got stuck there. That was nice. It was a much better change. Yeah, I think most of everything I've covered that's pretty... Baseball was cool.
That's so weird. Like, I've not even started Dungeon 2 yet, and I'm starting his Confidant.
Oh, this is quick.
Because I have the guts.
Oh, right, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, so I think that's all pretty much.
One thing I would say that I kind of would have liked is I feel, as daft as it sounds, I kind of feel like more connections to the other Persona games would have been nice. Like, nothing too huge, but like you have the poster of Rise. You have. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
listening. I can't input much here because I haven't played the other ones.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let me listen.
So there's that. You have the poster of Rise. You have the poster of the other idol from the dance game.
Mm-hmm.
You have the detective prince, and I like the fact that they've added the line in the news somewhere actually talking about Nanto, and be like, oh yay, they actually recognize her this time. But I don't know. It's hard to really complain about because I don't want there to be too much.
Right.
But it makes me wonder, like, in the original drafts, they were talking about how one of the characters, confidants or whatnot, was going to be a character from a school that transferred from the school from the another game. And it is just little things like that would be interesting to see what they could have done.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't mind it being its own thing. Like, in a way, it's stronger for being its own thing. That it doesn't have to have all these connections. Although, one thing I will add onto this rant is I don't get why they wouldn't put in the effort to make the main character from Persona 1 and 2 also a optional DLC boss. Like,
I don't know much about that one. Yeah.
They have the Persona 3 and Persona 4. 3 I get. They had the model from the dancing game. Like there's very little effort to do that. 4, I don't know if it's the same model as the dancing game one. Because the dancing game one did come a bit later. Maybe they just touched it up here and there, but still, it's like, why not just have 1 and 2 in there, and then we can have a showdown between all 5 of them. Because everyone wants it.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's sad to see that they don't acknowledge the previous games, like 1 and 2, so much. I forgot. I can't run over. It's just 1 and 2 are so hugely different that not many people have played them.
Well, I mean, there are the early games, right? So.
I don't know. 1 and 2 are more traditional RPG games.
Well, yeah. Again, they're the earlier games, so they'd be different because they evolve over time. So it makes sense that they'd be way different.
Yeah, but I don't get why they would just then ignore them to the extent they do. Like, 1 and 2, Persona Q is the celebration of the Persona games, you know. Yeah, let's get all the Persona
Cast
characters. Yeah.
What kind of game is Q, anyways?
It's more traditional RPG.
Oh, okay.
It's fun.
It's interesting. If
Yeah.
I ever get around to playing the other two, maybe.
But yeah, it's just, once again, they don't include 1 and 2. I mean, I get it in a way for that, because it's a lot. It's a lot to add, like, what, 60 new characters or whatever, but they could easily just have the main character. Like, just have MC1-chan and MC2-chan or whatever.
MC1-chan, MC2-chan.
But yeah, it's that type of thing. It's like, oh, it would have been nice. At the same time, though, can I really complain? We have the Velvet Room still. Yeah, there's like loads of connections going there. I just want the game with Elizabeth. I want her game already. It's just they keep
the truth comes out.
they've been teasing it for so long. Like after Arena, she's just destined to get her own game, but she's just not getting it. Yeah, because she fucked off from her attendant duties to go and do stuff, and what was it? Margaret has a great quote. It's like, "Oh, we'll meet again one day, where you will return to the room one day, not as an attendant, but as a visitor." It's like, oh, yeah, no, nothing has happened. Yeah, anything else you can think of before I move on to my batshit crazy theory for Persona 6?
Don't I feel like we've covered everything?
Probably haven't, but you know, we've covered most
Well,
of the main things.
like, when I say everything, I mean like the majority that of important things we want to cover. Like, I can't think of like a major thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm sure there might be something I've forgotten because this game is massive. But, yeah, no, I think we're good.
Okay, so my basic broad idea for Persona 6 would be the... Oh, hey, Jose.
Good job.
I know, right? The basic idea would be that in Persona games, especially post 3, you have the alternate world, which was, the Dark Hour, the TV world, or the Metaverse in this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the next one would be an online world or something along those lines.
Oh, I think you mentioned this.
Yeah, I've mentioned it to you.
Talked about, you talked a little bit about it. I remember.
The idea being that there's the metaverse or whatnot is something online, and then the whole premise of the persona is your online persona versus your real life self. And then you can have some interesting... With the fact that the alternate world would be online, say, you can have your party member actually be people that don't actually meet up. So you can allow for a lot more interesting characters and a diverse cast, unlike the other ones, which is, for lack of a better term, kind of strict. Like, they've always been students of relatively the same school, say.
Right.
Like, you could literally have students from different schools, different countries. You could have older generations or younger generations a lot easier without having to do a lot of narrative gymnastics.
Makes sense.
And you could even go so far as to include other characters from previous Persona games quite simply, such as Futaba or the teacher for Persona 3. Like, there's a lot of characters that, are online that you can say they could be in it. To what degree depends on, lots of different things you can depend on. Then, of course, for the actual threat, you can have a multitude of things. Like, you could have, obviously, hacking or whatever, but you also have the premise of a virus, which kind of plays well into, what's happening now, and we know that Atlus or the Persona team do like to take inspiration of stuff that have happened in the development.
Right.
And then you would have the idea of, your team formed to try and help tackle this virus and whatnot. And then that could lead into more themes and stuff quite nicely. And as for the Confidant sides of things as well, you could have it be that, the people or the social links, the people you learn about are people that will then be able to give you stuff. You can unlock things in terms of online abilities or such.
I should write something.
And I don't know, it is just the type of thing that you could take it even further and have it be that the main character's actual online avatar, whether it's even customizable and all sorts of more stuff that you could just pile onto.
Yeah. There's a lot of options with it. See it.
It's something that I could see them doing, because they do... 5 potentially could have gone like that. But when you stop and think of when 5 started development, the online world wasn't as it was now.
Yeah.
Like, when 5 started its development, and when it came out, the online scenario was completely different.
Crazy, man.
And with the way, like I said, Persona games typically, they react in a way to what the previous Persona games have done and to what's happened in real life and tackled certain things. I wouldn't be surprised if the next Persona game looks into the online side of things. Maybe not to the degree of my crazy ass idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's a element to it.
I get that.
In before, it's just, the light hour. Secret hour in between noon. And you go up Martyrs.
I was just gonna say him before, it's just Digimon.
Why would it be Digimon?
Because that's what I think. When I think of digital world and all that, I just think about Digimon.
Oh, okay. I was just being dumb and parodying the older Persona games. There's just gonna be something completely more mundane.
No, I mean.
Oh, Tokyo's blown up again. Looks like it's our job to fix it.
God damn it.
That is every Shin Megami Tensei main story.
Oh.
So,
well, apparently every Persona game's about fighting a god at the end, so,
Oh no, that's just every Atlus game.
Oh, okay. Every Atlus game you fight a god. That's their thing. Huh. So now I'm wondering if I do play that, Fire Emblem, whatever.
Yeah, the
Tokimura session.
Oh, probably.
Probably just
a
god at the end.
I'm actually
if I play, I'll let you know.
I'm trying to think of a Atlus game off the top of my head. Not counting... No, wait.
Catherine?
Yeah. You do.
You can't win. God everywhere. It's great.
Yeah. I like Catherine. That's a good time.
Also unrelated, apparently there's one of those Pokemon Sword and Shield animations released today.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen them. They're pretty neat.
No, I haven't.
You should check them out sometime. Pretty neat.
Yeah, cool.
Good animation, Actually some quality shit, unlike the games. Sorry, I can't toss that out there.
No. I mean, technically, 3 isn't a god?
You're still on the god thing.
I mean, technically it's not. Yeah, I would go with 3 isn't.
Okay.
Despite it being the biggest threat, I believe, in all the Persona games.
That's fine.
Maybe.
You have to
See,
stretch it.
Here's the thing. I know this is not an answer you could give me. And it's something that I don't think anyone could literally actually give me the answer to. But I do wonder, when Yauzabath was merging Mementos with reality, what the other Persona users were doing. Like C's, or the investigation team, or Jim. Like, what were they doing with their normal day lives, and then did suddenly stuff start going crazy? Were they just accepting it? Like,
So does like all the worlds where they get their persona powers disappear? Like,
well,
they just go back to normal.
it
Like the
depends.
theme?
It depends on the game. Like the Dark Hour is weird, but the people, the C's, they can use their personas in the real world.
Uh-huh.
The investigation team, they can use their personas in the TV world. It would go without. It wouldn't be hard to imagine that what was it? The Phantom Thieves could use their personas in the TV world. They are persona users, so if they go to somewhere where they could use it, they thingy like a what was it? Phantom Thieves would probably be able to use an evoker and summon their persona in the real world that way. Like they would probably get tired for using it in the real world, but they would probably be able to train up for it or whatever. The fact that they become a persona user, they would probably be able to use a persona wherever the other persona users have been able to use it. If that makes sense.
Do it.
I get the basic idea.
Yeah.
Possibly
to be fair,
unconfirmed, but possibly yes.
probably more so confirmed, because that's why Akihiko, Aigis, and all the C's people were able to use their personas in Arena. And they would only pull out the evoker for the special move. Evoker's the gun, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. Because if there's one thing I remembered, because about Persona was that fucking gun to the head, and I'm just like, fuck did he do? That was my first introduction to Persona. Some dude hold the gun to his head and saying Persona. Poof! I'm like, what the fuck? He just shot himself in the head. That's not a Persona. That's dead. It's fucking dead. You are 10 feet under, my friend.
They buried him an extra 4 feet just to be safe.
Yeah, fucking.
No, it's like I always wonder during that end scene. It's like, so what's C's doing at this point? It's like, are they freaking out, trying to figure out what's going on? Like, I don't know.
Will their cognition be affected?
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't know. Like, to how big of a degree would it be? Because for all we know, the merging of the metaverse and the reality never spread much further than Tokyo. Like, maybe it would have continued to spread if the Phantom Thieves didn't stop it. But
yeah, that's true.
At what stage? It's one of those things we couldn't get an answer. It was just more of a curious, I wonder why, like, how.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, that's something that's kept me up awake at night.
Poor Ifrit.
What were the investigation team doing? Did they have an emergency meeting in Jeunesse? Fucking investigation team sucks. They're so dumb. Although I will say this, spoilers for when you play Persona 4. One of the investigation team's weapon is a folding chair.
Oh yeah, it's that one dude's.
Yeah.
He's in Arena. And he's in Blaze Blue as well.
Yeah, but no, that's his weapon type, folding chairs.
That's great.
Oh, I love Kanji. He's great.
There you go. I've seen him before because of Arena, and I knew somewhat of his personality.
The fact that he fucking rocks. He's arguably one of the best characters in that game. I'm trying to think now who is potentially better. But that's 4. 5 is the one we're talking about.
Yes, I'm glad you can count.
So yeah, I guess now that you've finished Royale, Is Yoshizawa your favorite character?
Yeah.
Really?
She was way too cute.
I'm not talking about like female romance thing, just favorite character in general.
Oh, favorite character in general. See, that's harder.
Yes.
Like when you go in that situation, that's like I liked Yoshizawa, but considering she was often, I guess, out of the main thing, it's hard to call her a favorite character. I found I liked Ryuji a lot more this time.
They added a couple of lines with Ryuji that helped justify his douchiness.
Yeah, like, I found I was really enjoying Ryuji this time.
I also loved how, I don't know if it just became the amount of options you had that just threw Ryuji under the bus. Is like, Ryuji, you do it.
It was great. I feel like I chose every one of those.
Oh yeah, it was so good. And then I noticed that other party members were doing it as well. Towards the end of the game, I was like, oh, Ryuji. And there was one line of Mementos, like one dialogue choice. You know how they have the dialogue choices.
You want to get a dress and dance and have Ryuji do it.
No.
Or like there's something about like having Ryuji dance or something.
No, there was one. And it's like, I can't remember who said it. It might have been Morgana. It's like, oh yeah, we need to keep our eyes peeled or whatever. It's like, I've been doing that a lot, and now everyone, and then everyone just like looks at me as I'm even more scary or something. And the delivery of it as well. It's like, oh, Ryuji. Poor boy. He's so
the one I was
insecure.
talking about was something else. It was like, oh, they were talking about like dancing or something, or what was it? I can't remember now. They were just saying, it was like something about, it was either getting dancing or like doing the nude portrait again. And it was something about like putting Ryuji under the bus. It was like, Ryuji, you do it. He's like, what? And like one of the options is like, you'll do great. And it was just so much fun.
I also love just Joker in terms of how many times he's just hands in pockets, like not paying attention to anything that's going on.
That bird is far away. Yeah, that never changed.
I love it so much. But yeah, I think this is the wrap up done.
Basically, I think we're about done here. I'm getting hungry anyways. I need food.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably...
we probably missed one or two things. I'm being
one
honest.
One thing I will say that I just read in my final point. About the final dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's much of a problem, and there are counterpoints to the point I'm going to make, but it does feel kind of off that it doesn't fit with the theme of rebellion.
The dungeon itself?
As in that whole section. Like the entire game is all about the rebellion of, let's show these filthy adults, you know. Admittedly, there's some good things for it because it's a nice change of pace, and it's...
Well, I would argue the rebellion thing ended after the God of Control.
Yeah, I mean, once again, in a way, I kind of consider the final palace bonus extra content, which it is. But it's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just find it interesting that they were so strong about this theme, and then the theme is abandoned in the bonus thing.
I mean, it's not completely abandoned either. It's like,
no,
they're
I mean,
still rebelling in a way. It's just not as the focus point.
Yeah, I just find that a bit weird.
Like, they're rebelling against this world that he wants. Like, I think the issue with it is that Maruki isn't as aggressive as the others. Like, when it comes down to it, he's not.
He
wasn't sitting there like, you know.
There's also
Getting-
the good line that it was Mayuki's rebellion.
That
Like,
was
he said at one point, it's like, this is my rebellion or something.
Oh yeah, I do remember that actually.
And it's like that. It's the type of thing that it's not a bad comment to make. Like, it's not a comment I'm saying. It's like, oh, they've lost their themes, they've lost their ways or whatever. It's just, it's one of those ones that I go, huh. It's strange that happened, but not necessarily it's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, especially in comparison to Golden, whose theme sure might have still been search for the truth, but the tone of the game got destroyed along the way. Like, the tone of this game stayed the same, which I'm glad for.
yeah, it was good. I mean, I didn't. To me, like I said, the theme of rebellion ended after the God of Control. To me, that was like the ultimate thing. At this point, it was more of taking back the reality you made.
Yeah,
So it wasn't so much about rebellion anymore. It was more about just accepting the world for what it was.
I just found it odd that it felt very samey in a way to Persona 4's idea of seek out the truth. Like, not once again, not necessarily in a bad way, but it just felt weird that the theme almost shifted. But
I guess.
is it something that, is it a big deal? No. Should they stick to a theme for every single dungeon? Not really. Like, I don't know.
I guess.
It was just a point that I made that I feel like I wanted to talk about.
That's fair. I mean,
And now
again, the fact that you mentioned Persona, 4, like maybe there's something that I didn't notice because I haven't played the other ones.
yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
it's just the fact that the whole Persona games 3, 4, and 5 obviously have a very there's a theme here. We're slapping you over the head with it until you notice it, until you can't.
We're taking the fish and just slapping it all.
Yeah, we
attention.
wrote seek out the truth on the fish, and then just slapping you with it until it's ingrained into your eyes, and then you know what the theme of Persona 4 is.
That's gonna be my mental image for every theme of every Persona game now. Them writing the theme on the fish and just slapping you in the face with it repeatedly.
I just found it weird that they've changed. They took the fish, they slapped it with you, and then they go, oh yeah, let's just get this tuna and slap you with that truth tuna again.
And then they went and slapped the boss with the rebellion fish for a bit. But he didn't quite get it because he didn't have long enough to quite, hang on to the theme. So that was why he ended up with this weird rebellion.
I'm trying to think of a fish starting with an R.
I'm sure there's a... Hold on, I'll Google one randomly for you. Fish that starts with R. Let's see, we got a red breast Akira, red breast flag. There's a lot of red breast.
Yeah,
The red devil. There's a red devil fish.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. If I'm gonna alliterate, it needs to all be R's or nothing.
Okay, let me see if I can find something for you. A lot of reds. Holy shit.
Yeah.
A
Bloody-
rice swamp eel. That's a river barb.
Actually, I want that one.
Oh, here's a rope fish.
What?
There's a rope fish.
A rogue.
Oh wait, hold on. There's a royal knife fish. A royal.
Okay, I feel like we've started googling fish, people. This podcast is done.
This is. Thanks for hanging out.
I've stopped playing the game at this point as well. I'm just sitting in Joker's room.
I just need to.
I've made it 2 mementos. Technically, I think I've unlocked the one of the bosses, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to just speed through the game, get to a bit later stage before fighting the boss, or what. It might be a couple of days before I actually continue on with it. So, yeah. If I don't do it, bug me so that I don't forget. Because I have a nasty habit of saying stuff and not doing them unless people remind me.
Yep. Also, just gonna throw this out there. There's a red striped earth eater. It's a fish.
He eats the earth. That's why the ocean's so deep.
Just no, I really am just games.
Hey.
This is a lot more interesting than I expected it to be.
So yeah, thank you all for watching, especially if you made it this far.
I don't know how you stuck with us.
Apologies about the internet dying out. Or I should say apologies for the internet coming back.
I do not apologize for the fish formation. That's good. You need to know these things.
Fish facts.
Fish facts. Gonna start a whole new channel.
I feel like that's probably already if
Oh yeah, no, there's a fish fact channel. It's just random fish facts every day. Subscribe for more content, more fish facts. Like I bet you it's already there. Thanks for hanging, guys. Sorry for the randomness.
Anything you want to say before going?
Sumeri best girl.
And now to edit in Haru instead.
Hold on, I'll just say Haru right there so you can go ahead and actually
Thanks.
edit it.
Thanks.
So it doesn't sound weird. It's just my voice edited it clearly.
Oh, that's one last thing. I so want the option. You know when you're putting in your name, the option for the game to record your voice saying the name.
That would be hilarious.
So every time, no matter who it is, it's just your voice. Ren Tanaka. Chris Dick Butt.
Dick butt coon.
Oh no, they would have the coon. The person would say it. But I so want that to be a thing.
That does sound amazing. Alright, end this before we go any crazier.
Oh, how do I end this?
I don't know. I'm not a... Bye!
That's kind of shit.